Celebrate good times. Come on. Woohoo! It looks like Lizzo and J Lo are so frustrated that they ready to go. We here talking about it right now. I saw a couple tweets earlier this week that Lizzo was talking about, she's frustrated. And then, Jennifer Lopez talking about in the same day I saw something talking about where Jennifer Lopez's album flopped. So that made me like, you know what? Is this the end of the bullshit era of music? Have our dreams come true? The people that are the vanguard of the bullshit we see in music, frustrated with where they are in music. Have the people finally said enough to the bullshit? Let's get into it and let's talk about it. As we get into it, as you know, I want you just to do one thing for me. I need you to grab this thumbnail, put it up in your Instagram stories, share it, take it around town, and show the world that we are live right now. So that's what I'm about to do. Well, that's what I want y'all to do. Let me turn my airdrop on so I can airdrop this thumbnail of myself. And so this is what I'm doing right now. I am about to take this thumbnail. I'm about to take this thumbnail, and then I'm going to post it on Twitter. So if you're on Twitter, post it somewhere and retweet it if you're on Twitter. If you're on Instagram, put it in your story so that they can see the link, and then go to dewanb.com just so you can. Because what I want y'all to do also, as you're coming around here, I want you to go to my website and register for my email list. Because at my email list, that's where the magic happens. That's where you get to stay updated to what I'm doing. That's where you can see what I'm doing. That's where you can see it all. And that's where we can stay updated. I'm not gonna be spamming you. I'm not gonna spam you, but I will be sending you updates and discounts and all that good stuff. So to go to dewanb.com for that. So as you see right here, I went to my Instagram stories on my new iPhone 15. I love this 15. I just got it last night. The Pro. It ain't that much different than the 13. Just the screen a little more clear. But iPhone, y'all ain't really been updating shit since Steve Jobs died. But I'm not that into all the bullshit anyway, and I'm not getting Android. Those phones are stupid. Um, so I just put in live now. All right, cool. And I think I'm gonna add some music. Celebrate by Cool in the Gang. Yeah, that's gonna be the song. Woohoo! There we go. All right, so I just posted it to my Instagram stories. So thank y'all. We here. So let's get into it. I want to get into the Lizzo part, but I want to spend more time on Lizzo. So let's first start off by talking about Jennifer Lopez and her stuff. Jennifer Lopez, as I turn on my preacher music, Jennifer Lopez is somebody who is what we call a fake celebrity as far as singing goes, acting, whatever. Her singing career was something to where she never was what people thought she was. She's somebody that got pushed to the top Because during the 90s, niggas was having this love affair for Puerto Rican women that bordered along obsession. And too many black men of the 90s were very quick to push ahead, not screw over, and treat Puerto Rican women like they're the goddesses they should be treating their own black women with. Not to say that Puerto Rican women aren't goddesses. They are in their own right. And they have men that can elevate them to that status. But during the 90s, and what's up, chat room? Thank y'all for joining. During the 90s, black men, and not just during the 90s, overall, black men have always had this wild obsession for exotic looking non-black women. We talk a lot about the men who like white women. That's one aspect. The other aspect, and I think is more, which is more bountiful, is black men that are looking for that exotic chick, and they'll do anything to put the exotic one on. And in the 90s, putting the exotic woman on was more of a priority for too many black men. And some of it was just capitalism. You're capitalizing on an audience that's there, you know? There's a lot of Puerto Ricans who listen to our stuff and do what we do. And there's a lot of black men who are very much so into non-black, non-white women. So in the 90s, you know, Jennifer Lopez got her start with In Living Color. You know, then she did that movie Anaconda with Ice Cube. And then Puff Daddy did to Jennifer Lopez what he did not do for the black women who worked under him, like Faith Evans and so on and so forth. He actually put her on and she got paid. Y'all never notice a lot of these black dudes going around talking about who did Puffy steal from, and Puffy was just a businessman and nobody gets rich off their first album. I've been hearing a lot of that, and that's overall true. Except for with Jennifer Lopez. How did she make it and get all that goddamn money and get to the top? She was a motherfucking fly girl 3 years before that album. She hadn't done Selena yet. Selena came later. She wasn't struggling. See, these niggas will fuck over a black woman, but then the minute an exotica come around, oh, now all of a sudden, why is that everybody that was around Diddy complained they came up a little short in the money? Except for Jennifer Lopez. That's why I don't fuck with niggas like that. At least Suge Knight, when he beat up niggas, he beat up white boys too. Suge Knight beat up whoever was in between him and the money. He didn't care what race you were. He didn't care your economic status. If Suge Knight felt you was in the way of his money or you owed some money, he was gonna do some mafia style tactics. I could at least respect that because at least he did it for everybody. Puffy, you screw everybody over except for the Puerto Rican chick? That says a lot. Well, she went on, and then a lot of people didn't know, when you go back and listen to that early Jennifer Lopez, those were Ashanti's songs, and those were actually Ashanti singing the demos. And what they did was, when Ashanti, usually in music, your artists, they get a song and they basically get a demo that they hear someone else sing, and that demo tells the artist how they should sing the song, of course with their own flavor. But it shows the artist the singer, how to interpret the lyrics through the demo. So Ashanti sang the demo for a lot of that J-Lo stuff early on. The difference is when J-Lo sang her part, they didn't remove Ashanti's part in the demo. So what you hear is actually Ashanti's voice that's undergirding the sound of a lot of J-Lo's music. And I said that backwards earlier. Selena did come out before the album that that J-Lo did with Ashanti. Because Selena came out, I got the years. I was thinking J-Lo came out in 97 and Selena came out in 99. No. Selena came out in 97 and J-Lo's album came out in 99. So yeah, she did have the movie first. My bad. I said that earlier. She did have the movie first. That's what it was. I think her movie came out, Selena came out because Selena came out like in the 10th grade. So that's like 97. And her album came out my senior year in high school, 99. That's what it was. My bad. I transposed it too. But with that being said, J-Lo still, when it came to her time around Puffy, money ain't a thing. Yeah, but Jennifer Lopez was the modern Paula Abdul. She was the modern, exotic non-black that got to sing the black aesthetic and get the hottest production of her time. This is back when Rodney Jerkins was on top. And she got that mix. But she's somebody who took on the black aesthetic, took on the black sound, got to the top, forgot that where she came from. I remember it was an interview I saw with Tommy Davidson when Tommy Davidson was talking about how cool J-Lo used to be when they were on the set at Living Color. But then once she hit it big and got to the top, she basically looked at him and walked right past him and turned her nose up. Well, Jennifer Lopez's newest album flopped. It flopped. And that got me asking, is this bullshit era of celebrity finally over, of music? Is this bullshit era of music where anybody can get on the song and go number one? Is that era over? Her own goddamn publicist said the world has moved on. The world has moved on. And to that I have to say, salute to the world. Thank you for moving on. Thank you. And salute to the chat room. Thank y'all again for joining. Go to thewanb.com and sign up right now. Go to thewanb.com and sign up right now for my email list. Get on the email list and then donate to the GoFundMe. We've had some good donations lately. Come on and keep donating because we want to cross 10,000 so we can get the next episode to you. We want to cross 10,000 to get episodes 2 to you. All right? So you can get that right now on thewanb.com. Go to breakthroughcars.com. I got the shop. And if you want to email it, I'm getting ready to send a discount to everybody for everything in the shop. I'm getting ready to send a discount for the month of April for everybody who signs up for my email list. For everybody who joins my inner circle for exclusive updates, you will get a discount for the month of April. All right? But only to the people who are on the email list. So look out for that email next week. And this is your last week because next Sunday I'm starting back up my music course. We have 5 more classes to go. So if you want to get 100 years of Black American music history, sign up right now at DewanB.com and hit on courses, all right? Hit on courses on DewanB.com, all right? And then you can also hit the Cash App right here, $ Dewan Brown, all that good stuff. Always got a Cash App. Appreciate you, Ebony. Appreciate the Cash App. Appreciate the Cash App. So now, I want to really get into why I'm having today's show. So, good riddance to J-Lo. Your presence was never felt. It made a few people happy, but the music will not last through the test of time. Your music career will be forgotten. And I say that because of how you treated the people according to them after you arrived. The way you turned your back on people, the way they talk. I don't like that. So people who do that to people, you know what I mean, and move on, and really people who take art as Black people, I'm just tired of it. You can call me racist. I don't give a fuck. But I'm tired of people getting famous off our aesthetic, acting how we act, talking how we talk, getting famous on how we get down, and then get to the top, and all of a sudden you want to act white. That's what I'm tired of. And y'all know who I'm talking about. There's too many of y'all out there. There's too many of y'all out there. People who take on a Black aesthetic, act Black. Oh shit. That was an accident. People who act Black, talk Black, walk Black, do Black music. Do every road to their fame comes off of some kind of a Black something. And then they get to where they get to. Now all of a sudden they want to act white. They want to talk white. They want to turn their back on Black. Man, that shit's over. You motherfuckers offend me, okay? Let me tell y'all right now. I, Dewan Brown, a Black American, born and raised here in the United States of America, Los Angeles, California, as a Black man with 2 Black parents and 4 Black grandparents, and 8 Black grandparents, great grandparents, and 16 great Black grandparents, and 32 great Black grandparents, and 64 great Black parents, get annoyed when people come into our culture, use it to come up, because Jennifer Lopez, Rosie Perez, none of y'all came up from white folks. They didn't give y'all them breaks. They gave you a shot after they saw what you could do with the niggas. Okay? We're very giving people. We are a very giving people. And I'm tired of our kindness being used as a weakness. I'm tired of our kindness being taken for granted. And Jennifer Lopez, people like you, who take our kindness for granted, you're black, bliggity black. Just as black can be. Just black. But then, the minute you make it, the minute you own, you something different. See, a lot of you niggas is young. Let me give you an example. Let me give y'all an example of what I'm talking about. This is, see, when Jennifer Lopez doing her music, this ain't how Latinas dressed back in the day. That is not how they was dressing. That is not how they was dressing. That is not how they were dressing. She got to dressing like niggas. The headband, the scarf. Then the minute she get on, Tired of that shit, man. Anyway, fuck talking about Jennifer Lopez. Let's get into what I really want to talk about today. This right here, this tweet. Or, yeah, tweet, Instagram post, whatever. This is from Lizzo. Famed body positivity. Love me for being 2 sizes smaller than an elephant. And this is my issue. Let me start off by saying this. I don't have an issue with her size. I'm a fat nigga. And that's why I'm the authority on this topic. You skinny niggas can't talk about Lizzo the way I can. It'd be offensive if y'all said, but I can say this shit. Being part of her gargantuan brigade. And I've said this every time. I've been talking about Lizzo for a long time. If you're going to be part of this fat game, if you're going to be a big motherfucker, you got to accept yourself. Because the world won't accept you. The world is taught imagery from the age of cartoons on that the big person is the doofus. The big person is the bumbling idiot. Go back and watch those old cartoons. It's always a big guy. Which way did he go? Which way did he go? Go and watch Saved by the Bell. It's always a big nigga that's the doofus. Donkey lips on, salute your shorts. Always fucking things up. America socializes people to see the fat person as the fucking doofus. And all kind of shit like that. So as a big motherfucker, you gotta know that. And you can't play yourself. And if you're a big woman, you gotta know that when America sees a big woman, they see Mammy. They see Hattie McDaniel. They see the lady from Tom and Jerry. Thomas, get over here, Thomas. They see Aunt Jemima. And you gotta know this. You can't fall for the trick. And when you understand this is how the world works, you most often cannot look for other people's acceptance. And this goes for everybody, but especially to you fat motherfuckers. You cannot run around this world where you don't run. That's why you fat. I know I don't run. I used to. You can't run around this world expecting other people to love you, expecting other people to accept you. You have to accept yourself first. That's life. You got to accept yourself first. Lizzo been running around here trying to get the world to accept her and embrace her, wearing these gargantuan thongs, running through her life. Nobody's going to accept that, Lizzo. And it's not necessarily because you big. If we would accept you if you had them arms covered. America don't accept women whose arms look like they can fill a choir robe. You dig what I'm saying? It's not that the world don't like big people, Lizzo. It's that the world don't like big women shaped like you. If you had the boops and the baps and the whoops and the waps, wouldn't nobody be tripping? Would nobody be tripping if she had the boops and the baps and the whoops and the waps? But she ain't got the boops and the baps and the whoops and the waps. She just looks like a big sack of potatoes. And that's okay. Every woman ain't gonna have the boops and the baps and the whoops and the waps. But when you look like a sack of potatoes, mashed, You gotta work with it. You gotta rock with it. You can't go around showing all that and expect us to like you first. You have to have enough self-respect to cover up. You got to. Look at this post that I put up years ago. Remember, do y'all remember when she was at that Laker game? Y'all remember when she was at the Laker game? This is a post that I did that years ago. This is right before the virus. This is when she's at the Laker game and she showed her whole ass. Y'all remember that? You got kids around. You got grandparents around. Whose thong gets seen the whole sliver through? Look at these two big ass pancakes. What the fuck? And if you don't have put out your ass, at least have ass. Women with ass, they thongs disappeared. Yo, her thong look like this is the 105. This is the 110 south to the 105 east and west interchange. Doesn't that thong look like the 105 interchange? Don't that thong look like the 105 to the 110 freeway interchange? Anybody who come on from LAX know what I'm talking about. When you gotta leave LAX and you live somewhere like, if you live like towards downtown or like towards the, the Pasadena area, when you leave LAX, you gonna hop on that 105 and you gonna hit this loop. I now call that the Lizzo thong intersection. That's the Lizzo thong freeway exchange. So Lizzo thought that this was the route to acceptance. And again, I have no issues with big women. I like big women, by the way. I like big women, by the way. Let's make that very clear. I've always liked big women. I don't need, I like women of all sizes, honestly. I never really had, if she black, I could do them skinny, I could do them big. But the big gotta be, it's a certain layout to bigness. And I know that I'm a fat nigga, I can speak on this, man. You never gonna see me walking around in no tank top. The fuck my fat ass look like walking around in a tank top? And that's not go to all you fat niggas. You know what I mean? You niggas need to cover up. You know what I mean? Ladies will tolerate you. I've never had an issue with getting the ladies, because ladies, I'm a reasonable ass nigga. The women know I'm not gonna embarrass them by walking out the house. And look at her, she looking like Ursula from Little Mermaid. Did she really think? Like, dude, do you really think this isn't body positivity? Body positivity. This is a scream for attention and help. That's what this is. Let's call it what it is. Let's call it what it is. This is a cry for help. This is somebody white told me to wear this so I can get on and get attention. That's what this is. Again, I didn't say nothing about Lizzo's talent. She's pretty talented. Because it's going to be somebody saying, oh, Lizzo's talented. Talent in Black America comes a dime a dozen. You want to see some talent in Black America? Just walk down any street. Listen, and watch the girls play double dutch in the communities. Watch the boys, have crip walking. I remember when we was in high school, niggas at Westchester, niggas when school was out, niggas didn't even bang, but niggas would literally stand in a circle and have like sea walking contests when I was in high school. Niggas just would really be sitting there. I remember one of my homeboys, Giovanni, this nigga would sea walk, spin, And yeah, this motherfucker, this back when the Ford Explorers was hot. This nigga spun while he was sea walking, jumped on top of the Ford Explorer. I ain't talking about the hood. Nigga Giovanni jumped up on top of the Ford Explorer and then started sea walking some more. This is like what niggas do in high school, just randomly. Like, so you can't impress me when you say, "Oh, somebody got talent." When I'm doing stand-up comedy, I still haven't met a stand-up comedian that's funnier than people that was on my block growing up. I still haven't heard too many singers on the radio the last 20 years that are better than the sisters in church that in today's Easter service. There are tens of thousands of ladies and men and gentlemen in church right now singing better than anybody you're ever going to hear on the radio. So miss me with that. Everybody got talent, and she definitely has talent. But when you use your talent to look like Ursula from The Little Mermaid and show that body to the world, and you're putting that ahead of your talent. Talent doesn't need this. All right? Again, not saying she ain't talented. But when you lead with this, you're making me look at you as a fucking circus, not as a talent. I'm sorry. I'm human. All right? Okay? I told y'all a long time ago, that's why I didn't do no fucking all-deaf digital videos back in the day. Every goddamn video, every sketch they had me doing back in the day, they was over there telling me I had to be eating a fucking Twinkie while in the gym working out. I had to be booking my eyes and being a fat security guard. Oh no, you ain't gonna do that. Nigga, fuck that. Wasn't no goddamn all-deaf digital attention worth me being a fucking buffoon. Kiss my black ass. I got a day job, so I ain't got to deal with this shit. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. I ain't about to be nobody's goddamn. I played the fool once or twice. Then once I figured out, damn, these niggas only call me when they want me to eat Snicker bars and do dumb shit. Fuck out of here. Let me see if I can. Here it is. Here it is. I found it. This is the shit.
Dear person.
I found it actually on All Deaf Digital. Y'all think I be playing? This is when I'm about to embarrass myself a little bit. I'm about to embarrass myself. This is when I realized I ain't fucking with All Deaf Digital and they bullshit and they bullshit. I gotta speed it up. Oh, I can't really play it. But look at this. I'm just gonna kind of just skim through it. Look at me. They got me over here doing all kind of. Let me see playback speed. And let me see. They kind of look at this. They got me doing all kind of weird ass shit like this. Look at this. You see that bullshit? I'm gonna tell y'all my shit before you find it. That's when I realized ain't no more sketches for me at All Deaf Digital. When I did that shit, I did it because DC is my boy. We kind of was having fun. They paid me already. They paid me before I got there, and I was on the clock at work. They paid me before I got there, and I was like, well, like, cool. I was like, when I saw that shit, that was in 2014. That was 2015. That was a sketch that I did right before Teddy Ray called me to do Roast Me. And when Teddy Ray called me to do Roast Me, I was like, you know what? I didn't know. I had no clue roast beef would turn out to be as big as it got. But after that, I said, no more. I'm nobody's bitch. Hey, and fuck you niggas in the chat room for cracking jokes on me. Y'all ain't nice. Yeah, Quan. I know as my profile goes higher, somebody's gonna find that. So I'm like, shit, I'm gonna show y'all like this out there. Look, that video has how many views? Up 9 years ago, 25,000 views. So yeah, no, no. I'm like, no, like attention does not mean that much to me. I saw that shit. I saw what direction that shit was going in. So that's who's talking to you right now. I'm not talking to you as some authoritarian. I'm talking to you as somebody that is a big dude that see how these motherfuckers play us. And when I personally had access to a vehicle, mostly all of my friends that went through All Dev Digital have way bigger platforms than me. I had to struggle to get to 11,000 Twitter followers. I mean, I've been trudging through the mud to get to 19,000 YouTube, and I appreciate y'all. And another 9,000 on IG. That came from just the long way. And I want y'all to see something on the sketch too. I want y'all to see something real quick. Look at the timeline. Look at the timeline. Look at down here. 9 years ago. This was right before, for those of you who grew up on Roast Me and all those All Dev shows, this was right before All Dev Digital really, it was already really big. It already had millions of people watching. But, like, look at this shit. I think that was it. But, like, this was right there when shit was buzzing for everybody. Like, niggas done got HBO specials since then. Niggas done, like, my boys, like, Tahir and all the niggas, these niggas is on Spectrum TV. All the niggas is home. Like, I won't say home, but, like, they're like, that was my class. I'm sometimes we forget to tell people, like, no, I'm not just talking. But when I did that video, I had to ask myself, is this what I want? Is getting in front of people and having notoriety, is it worth this? Y'all remember that show I did yesterday when Larry called in and I was talking about my whole situation in my life. At that time in my life, when I showed the picture, I showed you the picture of that bogus ass nigga that we was talking about, and there was a lot of stuff going on. When I did that video, that was right in that pocket. All that was going on at that time. If y'all, I'm not gonna rehash what I talked about on yesterday's show. Go back and watch it to the part where Larry called in. We'll be clowning old dude. All this is right there. All this is happening at the same time. I got like one of my close friends doing some bullshit at the time, and then my opportunity to go further in comedy. This was the lane. That lane, if I wanted it, I could have taken it. So what I'm saying is this: when it comes to people like Lizzo, when it comes to people playing the buffoon, I ain't got no sympathy for that. Nigga, you know what I did instead of playing that fucking buffoon? I went right back into a fucking job I didn't like until I could leverage my entertainment skills for something different. It took me a couple extra years. It was harder. It was a longer road. It's still a longer road because all my friends that stayed on, all deaf at that time, all of us had 500 YouTube. Not YouTube. I wasn't even on YouTube like that. All of us had like 500 Twitter followers at that. Other than Tony Baker, all of us had like anywhere from 500 to 1,500 Twitter followers at that time, including Teddy Ray, Craig. All of us. Brent Taylor at that time had 300 Instagram followers, 700 Facebook friends, 600 Twitter followers, all of us at that time. Yeah. All of them have commercials and shit. Oh, you see what that class is going on? Yeah. You used to watch all time. All them cats have commercials. But I have something called integrity. And I'm not saying everybody needs my level of integrity. Let me first start off by saying that, because I don't want to come off as some self-righteous nigga. Everybody gonna live life. You gonna play your cards however you play your cards. You gonna play them however you play them. I'm just coming to you from my standard and how I see the world and opportunities that I passed on. And I'm giving you physical evidence. I'm not some autonomous nigga behind the screen saying behind the screen that you never seen before and saying trust me. I can show you where I fucked up. And in that video, I'm not proud of that shit. I had done a couple sketches around that same time with that same similar character. Wearing that same outfit where I'm like the big dude. Like, I ain't proud of that. But you live and you learn. So hopefully Lizzo can live and learn. Because this is what she was talking about. This is why we're talking about Lizzo. Oh yeah, I appreciate that star. Hit up the Patreon. New music, this past Friday's live music mixdown will be uploaded on the Patreon today, all right? The Patreon is active. We putting stuff up there every day. I'm not every day, every week. We're getting more and more active with Patreon. So sign up right now. But this is reason I brought it up. This is what Lizzo put out in the Instagram post. I'm getting tired of putting up with being dragged by everyone in my life and on the internet. All I want is to make music and make people happy and help the world be a little better than how I found it. But I'm starting to feel like the world doesn't want me in it. I'm constantly up against lies, being told about me for clout and views, being the butt of the joke every single time because of how I look, my character being picked apart by people who don't know me and disrespected my name. I didn't sign up for this shit. Unfortunately, Lizzo, you got bad advice. Because as a fat motherfucker, let's speak Lizzo, fat motherfucker to fat motherfucker. You have to know without a shadow of a doubt, this is a cause to get talked about. Okay? No one in their everlasting goofy mind is going to accept this. And we're talking about this, and this is a bigger lesson for everybody. Hey, chat room, chill. Nigga said she was at Benihana's while she typed that. Hey, chat room, we've been serious right now. What the fuck y'all talking? Chill. You niggas are wrong, man. Oh, y'all stupid in the chat room. Y'all niggas. Y'all funny, man. If all things do want to be, go to wannabe.com. Thank you, Star, for being reasonable. The rest of these motherfuckers is crazy. All those Star I've seen you get when you decide to get buck in the chat room, you bet you just as bad as the rest of them too. Anyway, and this goes for everybody. This goes to us. Let's talk turkey. Let's talk. When you can't. This goes to fat people. This goes to LGBTQ members. This goes to you short ass niggas that's like 5'2". This goes to midgets. This goes to people with big noses. This goes to niggas in their 20s with receding hairlines. Look, when you outside of what society deems as acceptable, you have to accept yourself first. And this goes to everybody. You have to accept yourself first. What I see here, I see a young lady crying out. I see somebody who expected more from society than what society is willing and is able to give. America is a very hurt society, and when you're dealing with hurt people hurt people. You can't go around dressed like this and expecting not to get hurt by somebody. When your thighs looks like they can hold up the back end of an ox, but you're human, people are going to say things. That's what I'm saying. When you're a woman shaped like a capital B in the front with Noxetol in the back, people are going to talk about you. When you show it, when you flash it. Now, if she dresses appropriately, didn't nobody really talk about how fat, you like when that song "Everybody Dance Now" came out, Martha Wash, she was in a big ass gown, so it wasn't nothing to say about her. You know what I mean? When Phyllis Hyman started getting bigger, as before, and I feel rest in peace, Phyllis Hyman, but no one talked about her because she dressed like a lady. It ain't nothing to talk about when it comes to your size when you dress like a lady. But Lizzo is shaped like a heavy duty monster truck spring. Too many of these. You're supposed to have boom and a bap. She got boom, boop, 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 boop. So when that happens and you don't cover up, people are going to say things. And you got to be okay with that. Say something back to them. Like me, I don't worry about people who judge me for my size. Usually it's the dumbest niggas on earth talking shit. I don't want to be you. I got niggas that are in shape but can't keep a woman for more than 6 weeks talking about my weight. You think I give a fuck? I got people, niggas did get married, but they got with a chick and they goddamn hate their wife. Niggas that hate they goddamn life. I don't want to go home, man. I got that girl there. Yeah, when she don't be there. You think I want to trade places with these kind of niggas? Like Lizzo, you gotta look at the people who talking about you. These niggas ain't shit. Yeah, you got an eating problem, but you got people judging you who got a gossiping problem, who got an alcohol problem, who have an addiction to midget porn problem. Everybody got problems. Your problem is obvious, Lizzo. But you ain't gonna get nobody to accept you by doing that, especially when you that big with no titties. At least women your size gotta have the dooms. You gotta have a couple. At least women your size, if you're gonna flaunt something, at least have the jugs. Like that's the only time I've ever seen big women get away with flaunting their body if they got the jugs and they got the slugs in the backs. You got neither. Accept it. The route to your fame would have been through just playing your flute. Just play your flute. Just play your flute. That would have been good enough. Oh, but maybe them white folks wouldn't have accepted your ass off just your talent. They only accepted you because you played the mammy. This nigga said that midget porn go. Like, this is a lesson for everybody. The route to acceptance is through yourself, not through other people. And this is the cry for help. Let's help Lizzo. I wasn't gonna do this, but let's go into Lizzo's birthday. Because what I see here is a cry for help. That's what I see here. I see Lizzo crying for help. The young lady was misguided. The route that she took didn't turn out the way she was told it was going to turn out. So now she doesn't know what to do. Let me help you, Lizzo. I'm gonna go into your cards. And Lizzo, if this message gets to you, just understand this. Everything I said earlier was just jokes. It was just jokes. Just jokes. That's part of being big. You gotta know that, hey, people gonna crack jokes. It's okay. It's just okay. It's okay. My grandfather told me very young. My grandmother told me, the reason why your grandfather cracked so many jokes is to make you tough. Because it's a tough, my grandfather used to call me the big unit. The little big motherfucker, you little fat bastard. My grandfather called me, and I cried to my grandmama one day. I was like 5. Grandmama, why does Poppy always talk about me? Why does he always talk about me? Why is he always talking? You know what she said? She said, because it's a tough world out there. And when dealing with this tough world, your granddaddy feel it's easier that you get toughened up at home. So when you reach that mean old world out there, you can take whatever medicine the world has to dish out to you. My grandmother was like, it's a very tough world. So to deal with the tough world, we toughen you up at home. And I thank my grandmother for that lesson. I really do. And I thank my grandfather for that lesson. Because when I got out into the world, it wasn't a goddamn thing the world could say to DeJuan Brown that was going to take me off my square. And Lizzo, I'm saying everything I'm saying with love, Lizzo. I want to see you win. But you ain't going to win until you stop looking for acceptance from other people. And this is the way I've always believed in giving tough love. The fact that you're looking for acceptance, the fact that you want me to approve of you, I'm not going to give you that just by mere fact because that's what you want. I'm just not going to give it to you just because. The fact that I see you just thirsting for it, like I need the attention, please help me, get me, understand me. I'm an asshole. I'll be like, oh, that's what you want? Ha! You fat bastard. I'm gonna give you the opposite. Because why not? Why do I gotta give you something you haven't given yourself? Why I need that burden? Hmm? Why I gotta accept you when you ain't accepted yourself? That ain't my fucking problem. Hell, I still have areas of my life I haven't accepted yet. We all live and we all go through this in life, man. I still got areas of my life that I'm totally still not all the way comfortable with that I don't like. And I haven't quite made the decision to change or move on. We all life is complicated. You keep moving on. The minute you solve one set of issues, the next set of issues are right there. So people that go around running around Earth talking about accept me, accept me, accept me. I'm gonna say some shit to make you question whether or not you should accept yourself. Shit, why not? Because it's fun. Yes, our grandparents were highly wise. He said, Trent said, true, I got that Forrest Whitaker eye. Oh, if you got a Forrest Whitaker eye, man, niggas with Forrest Whitaker eyes got clowned by they pastor at church. You couldn't even go to church without pastor saying, everybody bow their heads and close their eyes. You too, fork eyes. You too, snake eyes. Yeah, we as people, man, shit. They gonna get your ass. So let's go into her cards a little bit. See, Lizzo's a seven of clubs. That right there is a card that's a very judgmental card. It's one of the most judgmental cards in the deck. So Lizzo's a very judgmental person. The problem is, when all you niggas out there that are judgmental, listen to this game I'm about to tell you. Judgmental people, the biggest thing they suffer from is overjudging themselves. When you're a judgmental person, the person that is the most harmed by your judgment is you, not the motherfucker you judging. Hell, half the people judging don't even know your dumb ass is judging them. And the other half that know you judging them don't give a fuck about your judgment. But seven of clubs people are very self-judgmental. Very, 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 man, they worry about themselves too much. They self-consciousness. So off the bat, I see Lizzo is a very self-conscious person. That's probably where that screaming is coming from, to be noticed and to be seen. Yeah, her celebrity card, she had the she has a Venus, Queen of Spades. Oh yeah, the Queen of Spades. She two of the most judgmental cards in the deck: the Queen of Spades and the Seven of Clubs. God damn. And so when we see Lizzo doing a lot of her attention whoring, wearing a little bit of nothing, it's because she doesn't want to be judged. She's trying to control the narrative. She's trying. Her doing all that stuff is a way of her controlling the perception of herself. But she just didn't understand that won't work. That's not how you do it. That you can't you can't do that. You gotta you can somewhat control your narrative and how people see you, but you can't ultimately control how people see you. You just gotta go ahead and live your life. Yeah. You just gotta live your life. Like this nigga Larry Smith live his life, his whole life. All the world see is teeth. And he okay with that. This nigga Larry Smith in the chat room was, this nigga used to get, this nigga can't go to laser tag. This motherfucker's teeth is louder than the neon guns in laser tag. That nigga loses every single laser tag game that he's ever played in his life. Nigga can't even play. This nigga got banned from laser tag. That nigga smiled in the laser arena and it threw off all of the little goddamn thing. Everybody lost because his smile, the lasers hit everybody's thing. They thought the lasers hit him. No, the lasers didn't hit your vest, nigga. That nigga smile did. It radiated all throughout the dark laser room. So niggas like this dude understand he can't go to laser tag unless he want to get talked about. You know what I mean? So Lizzo, you got to take lessons from these people. You know, you can't go around, you know, looking. You got to know your limitations. You got to know your limitations. But yeah, this shows her. You're right, Patricia. This shows she lives that Queen of Spades. See, that the Venus card is how you live your lifestyle. That's how you interact with people. That's a lifestyle card. It shows the standard in which you live and how you view the world and how you see yourself. And the Queen of Spades it's the judgment. It has to be like, it's on the high side is wise. On the high side of that card, it understands that this whole world is an illusion. And that's the journey that Lizzo's on. She was born in 88, so she's still on her journey. Lizzo is still on her journey. As she gets along through her journey, she's going to start to realize that all this earth shit, all this shit is just an illusion. And she's going to start, but in order for her to get that with her life path, she has a 7 birth card and a 7 in her Saturn. The Saturn card is your parameters in life, and the 7 of spades. That's the final judgment card. Another judgment card, 3 judgment cards in critical condition, spaces, and that's 7 of spades. Nigga said stop talking. All right, that's a good one. Yes, Samurai shows here. Translucent teeth. But here's another thing with them 7s. All they're judgmental. Sevens are spirituals. And so, it's funny how the 7 cards, 7 of clubs, 7 of spades, they require you to have a very strong spiritual foundation, but usually 7 cards are generally too superficial to want to tap into their spirituality. But their spirituality is where all of their gifts and greatness lies. So that's a struggle. That shows you, like, her struggle as a 7 of clubs is to rely, because she's very smart. She's calculative. She thinks a lot, but she doesn't trust herself, her spirit. Her life path is to learn how to trust herself and learn how to trust her spirit. Yeah. She's 32. Lizzo got a long way to go. Well, she ain't 32. No, she ain't 32. What's wrong with your math? Hurt? We in 2004. If she was born in 1988, don't that mean she's 36? Come on, brother. Hell yeah, blaming others for your insecurities is a barrier to self-progress. Yep. Hell yeah. But read Lizzo's shadow card. Her shadow card is an 8 of clubs. And the 8 of clubs is fixed. So her shadow self, the 8 of clubs is more fixed and sedimentary. It brings people to them. It attracts. So her shadow is telling her to sit still and to be present and let things come to her. That's what her shadow self says. But she's running from that shadow. Her shadow Venus is a 4 of spades, meaning it can be whatever it wants to be, wherever it wants to be, when it wants to be. It's very adaptable. But the Queen of Spades is sun self of hers, the side that she shows the world, is something that it wants to act like it's fixed. It wants to act like it knows everything. But her shadow self is saying, you probably don't know it all. That shadow side of you is always opposing you. But you got to understand this: who we are in our shadow. The whole purpose of being of those having those two sides is to bring you in the middle. It's to keep you balanced, keep you centered. You have an idea, you got to have something out here that says, "Do you really want it?" And in that interaction, in that headspace, in that juxtaposition, is where you find what you really want. So when Lizzo says, "All I want is to make music and make people happy," oh yeah, Seven of Clubs, they're like that. Seven of Clubs is the life of the party. I'm sure Lizzo, when she was a child, I know them Seven of Clubs children. They're generally the kid that everybody's gravitating towards. That everybody's like, "Ooh, look at what she did today." That's how seven. If you're a Seven of Clubs, you probably were that magnetic child that everyone looked at and had a personality. Because Seven of Clubs, they have very gargantuan personalities. She has a very big, and actually, Lizzo actually, when I look into her cards, she has a very beautiful personality if she lets it show. But that Queen of Spades Judgment card probably is why her background singers and stuff was filing lawsuits. Talking about how mean she is. She's probably very scared to let that part of her go and let it show. So what Lizzo has to do is she has to understand that she's dope and that she can be who she can be. But she does the way the path to being her greatness isn't gonna be coming around looking like Nate Newton. This ain't it. If you wanted Lizzo, this is them white folks. This is what happens when you got white folks telling you how to be black. Cause niggas ain't the ones that put Lizzo on with her music. This is what happens when you got white folks on your team. They telling you this is a good idea. That bodysuit is probably musty than a motherfucker too. God damn. That bodysuit, that shit smell like all kinds of bacon and dust. That shit smell like sweat and bacon. That's what that bodysuit smell like. God damn. So at the end of the day, the lesson is this. Lizzo, I appreciate the cash app, Shamari. Appreciate the cash app. Lizzo, it is time that you accept yourself. Know that them people are never going to accept you the way you need to, the way you want to be accepted. And be okay with it. Love yourself first. Lean into your shadow side. Your shadow side wants to be more fixed. Your shadow side wants to be more open-minded. But you closed off and you closed-minded. You only listening to what the white folks telling you to do, and you're not listening to yourself. Open your mind back up to yourself, Lizzo, and you will be the solution to your problems. Okay? I want to thank y'all for listening. Go to DewanB.com for all my courses and shit. All right? So I'm out of here. I got to go hang out with my parents now. Easter Sunday. Oh, yeah, understand on this Easter Sunday. Easter, as I close out, astrological event. It's always the first Sunday after the first full moon after the spring equinox. It's a reminder of rebirth and renewal. The beginning of life. The rebirth of life. That's what Easter represents. Easter represents the heart suite in cardology. The springtime, the beginning, early part of life. Openness, fulfillment, reaping the rewards and the benefits. And that's what Easter represents. It represents an opening also to the spiritual realm. This is the time to clean up your house, clean up your mind, clean up your spirit. We have an eclipse coming up next week, and I will do a show on the eclipse whenever my spirit gives me that download. I've already been told I'm going to do a show on the eclipse, but the download hasn't come yet. But when the download comes, we're going to do an eclipse show, okay? Go to patreon.com for my interviews and everything. Yeah. So that's what it is. All right. Thank y'all for joining. And remember this, there are no perfect messengers, only perfect messages for those willing to pick up the game. Thank y'all again for kicking it with me. I'm out.